"The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I be afraid?" So he describes three characteristics of God in this first verse. He calls him the light, the salvation, and the stronghold. And what I think is interesting is about that first one is when we think about like what light does. Well, light obviously reveals. It casts out darkness. David isn't just pretending like he's not in a dark situation. He recognizes that. He says, yeah, I am in a dark situation. I'm on the run from the king. I have no hope in this situation except for the Lord. The Lord is my light, and the Lord is my salvation. So it's sort of this twofold thing, because the light reveals the darkness of the situation you're in, but it also reveals the darkness that's within you. So this saving light doesn't just cast a picture on the darkness in you. It doesn't just show you that you're in darkness and leave you there, but God is your salvation as well, brings you from the darkness into the light. And that's where you get He is my light and my salvation. God is the active mover for David as his saving light. And then it says, whom shall I fear? Which is like the challenge to the enemies that are trying to conquer him. He has this confidence that comes from the light and the salvation that is his Lord. Then he says, the Lord is the stronghold of my life. The stronghold is sort of like the castle walls. They're like when you have an enemy that's in the valley trying to push up the hill, trying to attack you, the castle walls are your last line of defense. David's describing the Lord this way. He's saying the Lord is the stronghold of my life. And because of that, he's able to say, whom shall I fear? I sort of think about the stronghold in modern day terminology is sort of like the front lock on your door that you lock at night and then you go to bed, right? It's the last line of defense against the enemy. The interesting thing, though, is that when I lock my front door, I still have the idea that, yeah, there is a possibility that the enemy, if he's persuaded enough or if he cares enough, he's going to get in somehow. That's not the case with the Lord. David has this confidence of whom shall I be afraid, saying it's a sarcastic challenge. It's saying I can't be afraid of anybody because not only is he my stronghold, not only is he my light, and not only is he my salvation, but he's the stronghold and the light and the salvation. He's not just the castle wall, but he's the castle wall that's unscalable. He's the castle wall that will never fall. It's the Lord and the creator of the universe that's your castle wall. So that front door will never be broken down if the Lord is that protection. So that's verse 1, is that David's confidence is in his God. It's verse 1 through 3 if you want to put that up on the screen. It's the first verse is really just the reminders of God's character that David knows. God knows David to be his light. God knows David to be his salvation, and he knows him to be his stronghold. And how does he know this? Well, David knows this because he's in a cultural context right now. David is an Israelite. The Israelites have these festivals and these times of celebration reminding themselves of God's deliverance of their people in past times, right? So you have Passover, which is the remembrance of when God delivered them out of Egypt. But before that, you even have the promise that there will be a descendant of the woman that will crush the head of the serpent. Then you have Noah being delivered from the evils of the world. Then you have the promise to Abraham that God will provide him a sacrifice. And then you have Moses, who was the deliverer out of the land of Egypt. Then you got Joshua, who delivers them into the promised land. And then you have all the various judges who deliver them from the captivity that was in the promised land. So David has this context of his people. The Lord is the deliverer of my people time and time and time again for as long as we can remember as a people. That sort of past deliverance is what's serving David in this time right now. He's calling that back to memory in verse 2 when he says, when evildoers assail me to eat up